Hi everybody, it's Diane Gale from the blog sustainableslowliving.com. I'm going to make some avocado pudding today. It's one of my son's favorites. He's been kind of hinting at it, and I have some avocados that have to be used up. So today is a good day for me to make some. And I thought that I might as well show you how to make some too. Avocado pudding is really very tasty. It is... Well, it could be whole food plant-based if you substituted maple syrup for the honey. But it's made with whole natural ingredients, and there are, 5 ingredients. It whips together in just a couple minutes in your food processor, and it's a great way to use up avocados that have gotten just a little bit too ripe. So usually what I use for this recipe is 3 Hass, I'm not sure how you say that, Haas, Hass avocados. They come usually up from Mexico, and when they're a little bit too ripe, a little squishy, your thumb kind of goes in, that's the time that you want to make pudding out of them. Today I'm going to be using 2 Hass and one of these bigger avocados, which are actually my favorite. These are sweeter. I ate these from the trees when I was in Puerto Rico, and this is when I fell in love with avocados. But the Hass avocados are easier for me to get here. These happen to be in the grocery store. Every once in a while they have them, and I grabbed a few. I guess I got a little overzealous because now I have one that's a little too ripe. So the recipe that I'm going to give you today, and the one that I'm going to put on the blog, should work for you. But you may have to adjust the plant milk and the cocoa a little bit. You probably won't. I am probably going to have to adjust my plant milk and my cocoa measurements today because this avocado is so much bigger. But that's okay, because you will have the recipe that works with just 3 Hass avocados and you'll be ready to go. Or you can adjust if you feel confident doing that. We are just going to have a little bit more pudding, and my son will never complain about that. He loves this pudding. He asks for it all the time, and I don't make it enough for him. So I'm glad to be doing it today. So the first thing we're going to do, well, I guess I'm taking this off of here. I'm really not ready for that. The first thing we're going to do is cut our avocados. There's all kinds of tools to cut avocados. I mean, I don't know. I don't use them. I don't really find it necessary. But there are all kinds of tools. So I usually just have them and take the pit out. Usually when they're this soft, if you just squeeze the avocado a little, your pit is going to pop out. If it doesn't, if your avocados are less ripe, then you can take a knife. Don't put your hand near the avocado, please. And you can smack it down into that seed. And when you do, you can twist the seed and it'll pull right out for you. But anyway, we've got this one seeded. And then if you just take a spoon and just run down along the edges of the avocado, it'll generally come right out of there. I scrape whatever extra is left on the skin. And then you can use these skins in these pits to create natural dyes. And I actually did a natural dye post, and one of the things that is listed in it to create natural dyes with is avocados. So I can link that down below if you want to take a look at it. But I usually just save my skins and my pits. So you can just do this, and then it'll twist out. I usually save my skins and my pits. I put them in a big freezer bag and stick them in the freezer and just collect them over time. And then when I have quite a few, I can use it to make some really pretty dye. It really does make a pretty dye. This is going to be a lot of avocado. Charlie's going to be thrilled, but I'm going to have to adjust the recipe quite a bit, I think. Alright, one more, you guys. one more. This one might actually still be a little too ripe. But we're going to run with it. And there we are. You've got your avocados. Oh, can you see them? They're going to go right in that food processor. All right, so pretty simple stuff. I'm going to take this off of here because that'll be easier. And these avocados are going to go in. They're a little big, so they're a little hard to handle. That's okay. This is a lot of avocado. There we go. Scrape it all out of there. All right. And then we're going to put a cup of oat milk. You can use any plant milk. I made this oat milk in a video not too long ago, and I will link that down below for you if you want to make your own. It has a, you know, it's just whole ingredients, a lot less of the nonsense that you find in the plant milks that are in the store. But this is the homemade. You always have to shake it up a little. And the recipe calls for a cup, so we're going to start with a cup. Like I said, I'm pretty sure we're probably going to need more. It depends on the consistency of the avocados too. But these are still a little riper than usual. My son's been requesting this, so I'm kind of making it because he wants it so badly. And they weren't going to get eaten because I'm not going to be home to eat them, so they really were left over. Okay, and then you need a 1/3 cup of cocoa. And here's a pro tip that you just watched me not follow. If you put your cocoa in before you pour your plant milk in, you can try to wet most of it down with the plant milk. And then it won't poof up when you turn on your food processor and end up all over the bottom of your food processor lid instead of in your pudding. I'll try and get a little bit of it with the honey. It's a 1/3 cup of honey. It goes. This honey is sticky. Imagine that. It's stickier than usual. Unless it's just the spatula. I don't usually use this one. Okay, so a 1/3 cup of honey. And it goes. I'll wipe some of that off there. And 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And that's it, you guys. That's all that's going in there. It really is that simple. So, we'll put this on the food processor. Close the lid. And let's pulse it for a little bit. Maybe keep that cocoa powder from going all over. Look at that. Can you guys see that? Yes, you can see that. Sometimes there's too much light coming from behind me. I know that's an issue that I have to work on, but I'm not always sure what you can see and what you can't. So there we go. I've got it pulsed so that the avocado is all broken up. I'm just going to put it on low. We'll see how long it takes. I'm not really sure. We'll see. Probably 60 seconds, maybe 2 minutes. We'll see. Let's take it off here and check it. I can see that the avocado isn't completely blended up yet, but it's getting very close. Could scrape down the sides a little. And this is actually going to be a good consistency. I think because that larger avocado, even though there's more of it, they are really smooth and creamy. So this is also a good time to kind of take a taste. I know there's honey on this spatula, so I'm not going to get a real taste. So let's do this. Let's scrape this back in here. And then I'll get a taste from this side. So you can take a taste and see if you want to adjust anything, if you need it a little bit sweeter, if you want more chocolate in it. You can check your consistency at this point and see if it's like pudding, which that is exactly like pudding, so I won't add any more plant milk. But give it a taste. It's really good. Very good, but it needs more cocoa. So let's put a little more. Or a lot more. We like it really like a dark chocolate when we make it. Right now it's a little more like a milk chocolate, and when it's too light, right now it does taste pretty good. It tastes like chocolate. But when it's too light, it'll just taste like whipped avocados. So, you know, you don't necessarily want that. I'm gonna just try and I'm gonna just try and mix some of this cocoa in here so that again it doesn't fly all over the lid, because then I'm just kind of losing all my cocoa. Put the lid back on this. And I'm going to give it another whirl, probably for about half the time. Last time was about a minute, so maybe for about half a minute. We'll see how that goes. I probably only ran it for 15 or 20 seconds, but I realized that the sides need to be scraped again. There's a lot of the powder on the sides. One of the things that you want to be careful of when you're making this is that you don't want to get it too thin if you don't have another avocado, because your avocado is the thing that's going to thicken it up. So you definitely don't want it too thin. This one is looking pretty good. I don't want to whip it much more though, because it's just the right consistency, and continuing to whip it might make it a little too runny. It has to go a little bit longer to get the rest of that cocoa. And the flavor's perfect. Sweet. And we'll put it on for just a little bit more. Okay, you guys, so I just ran it for about another 10 or 15 seconds, and it's done. Ready to go. Now, I'm not going to scoop all of it out of here and put it in a bowl right now. I am going to get a little bowl to try because, well, chocolate pudding, and I want to make sure that it's just right. So we'll pull some of it out of there. Can you guys see that? Put it in the middle here. We'll pull some of that out of there. You can see the consistency. You're going to chill this, and when you chill it, it's going to get even thicker. That tastes wonderful. Good stuff. And like I said, you'll take it all out of your food processor, put it in a container, and put it in the fridge. You're going to want to chill it for probably 4 or 5 hours. We just like to let it chill overnight because it is seriously exponentially better when it's chilled. But here it is. delicious deliciousness for sure. So, if you're watching this video on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you know every time that I put out a new video. It's been really great having you here with me today, and I hope that I'm going to see you again real soon.